All right, forgive my voice. I'm a little sick and anything like that, but I want to do a quick video about about algebra. Usually, all the feedback I've been getting is that math is the number one obstacle, and I totally get that. And there's two things that usually bother everybody. One is fractions, and the other one is numbers and letters next to each other, that algebra stuff. So let's unschool this. Let's forget about like worksheets and other junk like that. Let's just come up with our own way of locking this in, and then we give ourselves the right to say, I get this now. Because that's in a few minutes. I want you to feel like, that's it. So here we go. So let's make algebra simple. Why are letters and numbers next to each other? Well, it goes like this. We got to do a quick story. I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher, so I turn everything into a story. And let's say some people are coming over to watch football, and I think I should do the food. They can bring anything else they want, and three slices of pizza per person seems fair. And definitely going to Little Caesars and going the cheap route on that, or maybe some Tony's, Totino's, whatever. Doesn't matter. So here we go. I don't know how many people are going to show up. Now, if I was going to turn my life into math equations, and people don't do that, I don't imagine, how would I write that? Well, I have a number. The number is three. And then I have an unknown. And the unknown is how many people are going to show up. So three has to stay. As long as three is a part of the story, and it is, it has to go somewhere. And then the next is how many people are going to show up. And guys will just either bail or just show up or whatever. Thank God Little Caesars is close always. So that's the number of people. So it's question mark. And whenever math has a question mark, they just have a letter stand in place. And it's a giant shrug. It's an I don't know. I don't know. So, how do we write this? This is where we got to go. Okay, I can get that. There's an I don't know, and there's a three. And then I go, but what math do I do? Well, again, I take words seriously. Um, Three and then X, there's got to be something in the middle that's going to tell us what to do. And that's where math gets a little confusing. You get a word problem, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Well, think about it. If you think about it this way, every time someone walks in, they get three slices because it seems fair. Time, every time. If you're doing a word problem and it's like you're buying something and there's a number or a price for the thing, but you don't know how many you're buying, think about putting it on the conveyor belt at the supermarket every time you put one on there. Even if it's a freaking car in the store, just think, boom, that and I mean, the X or whatever is every time. How many times did you buy a thing or whatever? So here we go. Every time somebody walks in, they get three slices of pizza. So times means multiply. So how does Velcro, I mean, how's algebra write this stuff? Well, they just put them next to each other. So if it's number and letter, click Velcro 'em or magnet, whatever, Velcro's good because it's not really going to stay there. So three times X is 3X. It sounds complicated, but really it's just like temporary storage. We don't know what we're going to do with this stuff. I don't know how many people are going to show up. So when stuff is touching in algebra, they're multiplying. All right. It's like springtime. You know what I mean? Rabbits make more rabbits. So when stuff is touching each other, they multiply. So rule number one is number letter. Number times letter is written number letter. See how I smashed it? I took away the space there. Five times x is 5x. So five, whenever in that story, five is the known thing and the x is the unknown thing, but they're connected. Every time one happens, the other one's going to happen. All right, cool. Velcro them together and walk away because there's nothing more you can do. And it makes these things feel like, I mean, you're going to get the 3x plus 7y and all that stuff. And it suddenly you like feel like you stumbled on the secret formula, Dr. Pepper or something like that. And it feels like it's too much. But don't worry, number times letter is number letter. And that's all that can be. So we're about to do rule number two. So we have rule number one is number times letter is number, letter. Just Velcro them together and you're good. Rule, it says right there, stuff is touching and they're multiplying. 5x just means 5 times x. Rule number 2 is letter and different letter. So we don't have a story for this one. X times y. And again, x is just a number. We don't know what it is. We're not worried about that. It's just either how many people, whatever the story problem is, we don't have to worry about it. It's just a number. And then y is another number. So let's say we don't even know how many slices of pizza we're going to get yet. One of them's slices of pizza, the other's the people. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if they're saying times, how do we store that information? Well, remember, times means touching, and touching means times. It's all multiplying. So it's just xy. Now, I'm not saying that to make it simple because this does come out into a language that is easily confusing, but just touching means times, means multiplying. So let's do this real quick. That's xy means x times y, one number times another number. So we're going to do a quick review. What would 8 times z be? And what would h times p be? You got it? You got it. Now, what if they ask you a question like this? We got to go to math. 7x equals what? And then they tell you what the x means. The x is 5. So you go to your whiteboard. Remember, at the test, they give you you can have up to 3 whiteboards. Also, 41 out of 46 questions, you get to use a calculator. This calculator is incredible. Don't do math by hand. Don't do math by hand. There's only 5 questions, the first 5 where you can't use a calculator, and really only 1 or 2 of them is going to have math by hand. We know what those first 5 questions are, but the rest of the test, they don't want you, you know, scratching all that math out. They just want you don't get points for doing math. You get points for getting the answer right. So you go to your calculator and you type in 7 times 5 and hit the enter button down here in the bottom left, right there. And your calculator says 35. What if it said solve b times h equals so base times height or whatever, bh? Well, they're going to tell you at some point and be able to figure out what b and a are. So it's 8 times 3, hit the enter button, and your calculator says it's 24, which is not too shabs. All right, another rule. This one has to do with spoons. Spoons. Okay, let me do this one kind of quick. Next one is what about letter times the same letter? So x times x. Remember, anything touching is multiplying, and we got to multiply, so we got to make them touch. So that's why I mentioned spoons. And it's like, what? But you'll remember spoons because if you had I went to the Dollar Tree for this and I bought a thing of spoons, and I don't know where I put them. But anyway, if you had a stack of spoons and they were all perfect and you stacked up and you looked down, you couldn't tell how many spoons there were. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a little hint how many spoons there are? I did buy these shiny letters and everything because I thought this would be cool. So how many X's am I holding? It looks like 1, but there's really 2. So we're going to do X times X. We're going to stack them on top of each other like spoons. And we're going to leave a note. So X times X, that's a little times dot. That means multiply. We're just going to stack them on top of each other. So watch me. That's 1X. And that's the second X. And then I'm going to leave myself a little note. Hey, there's 2 of them. That little 2, that's in a bad spot. I got to fix that. That's going to bug me. It should be like up here. My bad. That 2 is called an exponent. The X is called a base. We're not worried about those names right now. That sometimes is called squared. 2 means squared. 3 means cubed. That's another day. But that just means X times X. If you see Z to the second power, you go, what am I supposed to do? And they say Z equals 7. You go, what am I supposed to do? Aside from typing it into your calculator, what you're going to do is you're going to peel off the top spoon, Z, whatever, and then there's one left, times 2. And you do, okay, well, that's 7 times 7, and that's 49. Remember, calculator wants to do the work for you. And right next to number 7, I don't know, this is reversed and all that stuff, but there's a little 2 button right there. So you could do squared, and there's a button above it where you can change those exponents. You can just type them in, the calculator do it for you. So number times letter is just number letter. Letter times different letter is letter, different letter. And when we're multiplying the same letter, we stack them like spoons and we leave a note. Okay, I'm going to end the video there, and I'm going to do another video either tonight or tomorrow, talking about, well, what are we supposed to do with all this stuff? Because right now, a bunch of math just opened up to you. I want you to have a feeling about something that on the math test, they have to give you a perfect answer. One of the answers, not every question is multiple choice, but most of them are. One of them is perfect. And then the other ones are pure distraction. And they're trying to put fatigue and distress and distraction into questions on purpose. And you've got to look at that and just get a little, let it piss you off a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like going to a carnival, and those carnival games are not. The basketball's got too much air in it. You know what I mean? You try to win the big stuffed bear or whatever. Those games are rigged. So think of these questions are like, yeah, the math's real, but the question isn't as hard as I think. Maybe it's just plain tricky. All right. Appreciate you guys.